Hey guys, it's D-Stud here with Spartan AP in Tier 10 match. Right now we're working on grinding that E25. We're going to do 15,000 damage. Funny thing happened actually this match. Right about now, Spartan's kid, who's obsessed with blinking lights, clicked his power button on his computer. And so right there, he was. All I heard on Skype was no, click, and then silence. I was laughing so hard I couldn't control my tank. I looked back and yeah, he was just his tank, his Jagdpanzer E100 just spinning in circles back there. I felt bad for him. I looked back here to see what direction his armor's facing. I'm hoping that he's facing, the enemy tanks, but he's not. He's got his butt facing them, which, well, it's too bad. Anyways, so I type in chat here. I said, hey, Spartans. I said his computer crashed. That's kind of a lie, but not really. Crashed by children. Does that count? Anyway, hoping that the team, they don't lose it on him. Just rage about this AFK guy, which I mean, they probably will. I don't think anyone really pays attention to the chat. Anyway, so yeah, the E4. When I first got this tank, it was more of a token tank. I kept the T30 because of how much I liked it, and I just got this thing as a trophy. That I conquered that line. But that was back when it was in standard definition. The armor wasn't very good. It was just a Joe average tank. It wasn't even that good. It was worse than Joe average. Holy crap. I haven't played it since it went HD until these E25 missions, and I was thinking, yeah, I'll give it a shot. Maybe this will be a big damage dealer. All I need is damage to get the E25. Oh my goodness. Seems like every game was 5,000 plus damage. I just couldn't believe it. The thing was amazing, and the armor is completely solid now. It feels like I bounce a lot of shells where I wouldn't have before. I don't know, maybe it was just that day. I mean, we do have good days, we have bad days. Maybe it was just a good day. But I played for 4 or 5 hours straight. Just this tank, spamming it over and over and over again, and every time 5,000 damage, 2,000 damage blocked. That was just a good one. Hey, did you see that? 923 damage. The bingo roll on this thing is 937, so that was practically a bingo roll. That was pretty sweet. Pull up. You see the T-34. If you're ever shooting at a T-34, he's got his turret tilted like that. Just shoot the cheek that's a little bit flattened to you. You go through every time. It's like 120 millimeters of armor, and if his turret is just turned in the slightest, it's almost flat. That bit of armor right there. So you shoot that, it'll go through. You won't hear. It doesn't matter what kind of pin you have. Now the Moss. Check that out. Boom! Right through the front of the Moss. Standard armor piercing rounds. This thing has 295 millimeters of penetration. The front of the Moss's turret is 250 millimeters thick, I think. It's that or 240. Anyways, yeah, it's curved and stuff. But with your standard armor-piercing rounds, they get 5 degrees of normalization. So you can hit up to 5 degrees, and it's as if you're hitting it flat. And even beyond that, even if you hit 10 degrees, it's like you're hitting it at 5 degrees. So that's pretty sweet. The gunner here is just absurd. It just goes through everything, as you're gonna see several times in this video. Shots that shouldn't go in normally just go right through, even with armor-piercing rounds. That one, I have no idea how that one went in. I mean, I don't even think the bullet hit the tank. Whatever. Maybe there was some kind of server lag that kept his damage model out from behind that hill. I don't know. Whatever, I'm not complaining. 723 damage. Yes, please. So yeah, you'll see me come up here. I think I poke for the Moss again. Turret cheek. Boom, right through the tank. Piece of cake, just like butter. Goes through the front of the Moss, goes through the front of the E100. Turret, piece of cake. It kind of looked like that T-34 shot our lightweight here, but it wasn't. It was the enemy M103. Yeah, that kind of threw me off for a bit, especially when he turns around and looks at the T-34. So there's a lot of tanks around here, and I'm kind of feeling like crowded. Like, man, I wish everyone would just go away and let me fight. You know, you had that. You're bumping into people. You're running into them. It's like, ah. But, you know, whatever. You know, they got to play too. And if they weren't there, I probably would have been dead because the enemy would have swarmed me. So I think about going up and going after this IS-7. And I remember, you know what? That M103 is still back here. He's got to die. Look at this shot. Look at this. Boom. Right into the beak of his tank. That should not have gone in. That's 250 millimeters of armor right there. Went right through. I go to line up another shot at him, but I think someone else gets him first. Yeah. So Spartan just got killed. Actually, it's kind of funny. He just had got his computer turned back on right and logged into World of Tanks right just in time to watch his tank die. Which was... he had called me on Skype. He's like... Meanwhile, I'm having a monster game, almost 6,000 damage already, and 1450 armor block. Here, I'll just pause the video. I want to show you this right here. You see the side of that E100, or sorry, that Moss's turret? That's where I've been shooting it. If you got a really high penetration gun, like these tier 10 tank destroyers, that's where you want to shoot a Moss. It'll go through every time. Well, I mean, you got 300 millimeters of penetration or more. Yeah, I mean, some people, they just load gold and shoot them there. I really try. I have a couple gold rounds loaded in this tank. I don't think I've ever used them. I really try to stay away from gold, especially at these, you know, these big tier 10 tanks, unless I'm in like a Cromwell or Comet shooting at tier 9 tanks. There's really no reason to use gold. You just aim for the weak points. I have no idea what that Pershing was doing. He just gave me the kill. But, you know, whatever. So we were losing for a bit. We were winning for a bit. Now it's almost even. But the enemy, they're in a much better position. They've got some strong tanks coming around here. They've got a T-57 Heavy. They got the E25 and the Low. They're all around here. And we, you know, we're kind of by ourselves. This STI is in, he's at 2%. Which, you know, if he goes hull down, he's pretty good, but 2%, you just have to look at him with a high explosive round and he's gone. Anyway, so I'm kind of banking on this T-57 Heavy having been being reloading right now. So I kind of poke around here. Yeah, see there, the STI is dead. I shoot him in the cheek. I fire clutch because I was worried, you know, maybe he's not reloading, maybe he is loaded. But he doesn't really make an aggressive push back at me, and I mean, he's a good player, so he would have known that I'd have a 17-second reload. But yeah, so he just basically sits there and I kill him. He must have been reloading. That's the only real thing to think about. Now I come back here because I'm a little worried about the artillery. I was, you know, when the adrenaline was pumping, I didn't notice that I got two tanks that are pushing on the artillery right now. So I come behind here, the A-75 pops up, I block his shot again. I'm almost at 2,000 damage blocked in this tank. I've taken 0 damage so far. You know, that kind of gets me in trouble actually, and you'll see what I mean in a minute. I pop up here, I know there's a low up here. His turret's kind of going all over the place. I can tell he's not really focusing, so I just keep going, I right click. Auto aim, just put a shot in. I just need to shoot and pull back, basically. It's all I was trying to do. There's the artillery. Yeah, this is, I don't get. There's a T-34 pushing on the artillery, and they're still shooting at me. But, you know, whatever. They're probably just obsessed with the top-down view. They don't really realize what's going on. I was looking for a shot on this low, but by the time I was aimed enough to feel confident in pulling the trigger, he was too far away. This was I don't know what I was doing there. I should have just sat there and shot him, but I pulled back the minute that I click, and it just pulls my shell back, and I'm in trouble now. I missed my shot on him, and now I'm just sitting here. I'm like, crap, I'm ammo racked. You know, I got a little cocky. I'm sitting here ammo racked. I have a 32 second reload. And Lorraine's just sitting there. He could just pull out and kill me. And I was just like, holy crap. And the artillery's, I'm sure, looking in at me. And I noticed, hey, had that green reticle right through the side of that tank. So I just pulled the trigger and it went in. I was like, yep, thank you, damage model. Not being consistent with the visual model of that dead tank. Anyway, so now I'm kind of worried. You know, before I was super confident. I was like, oh yeah, we got this. I'm at full health tier 10. That's a half health tier 8. Yeah. Anyway, so I'm just, you know, I'm like, screw this. I'm just going to go cap. I got a 32-second reload. I'm just going to cap. And, you know, hopefully we see them coming, kind of thing. So my artillery buddy, he's saying, you know, we need to stay together. And I says, yep, I'm ammo rack, so I'm just going to sit in here. And he's like, you got it, buddy. And then pretty quick here, we spot one of the enemy artilleries. It's actually my buddy, in the 212A. That's what it is. That spotted him up there. Because I obviously couldn't see him through that building, unless I cut a glimpse from through one of those windows. Anyways, I know he's going to come around this way though, so I just pre-aim. And I'm loaded, even though if I'm ammo rack, I'm still loaded. So I see him, I kill him, and I instantly pull in behind this big wall. So I knew the other guy, he was going to shoot at us as soon as he could see us. So I'm sitting here and I just wait. I know he's got like a 30-second reload, so I just wait for 10 seconds for myself to disappear, and then I'm just going to move somewhere else. You know, I don't want to give my position away though, so I very carefully move around to try and get behind this other building without knocking anything over. Quite just tender-footed, you know, gentle. Anyway, so Spartan, you know, he's watching this by now, and so right there you heard the artillery shell come in, and he's like, "Yep, that shell landed right where you used to be." So it's, you know, it's a good thing. You know, you disappear. If they see you disappear, not moving, they'll just assume you're still there and they'll shoot. And well, I wasn't there, and we win the game. So that was pretty good. You know, it didn't feel like that epic of a game. But I got the battle results screen, and I was like, holy crap! 9,700 damage. Yes, please. Mastery Badge Ace Tanker, high caliber, a whole plethora of other medals. It turns out that this game was the best game I've ever played with regards to like damage done. I think I've had like as far as experience goes, I've had better games. One where I was like bottom tier and got like 7,000 damage. And you can see those on the other, you know, those other videos on my YouTube channel as well. So how do you play the T110E4? You know, it's a tank that, well, I don't know. It's not a heavy, but it's not like a sit in the back tank destroyer. You know, and so you got to wonder how do you play it? Well, basically, you use it like a bruiser. If you get flanked in this thing, you're dead. So you have to go with allies, and you have to make sure that your rear is covered. And you also have to make sure that your like front lower plate is covered. It's pretty weak. Their shells will go through it pretty easily, and you know, as you saw, it's pretty easy to ammo rack it down there. But it does belong on the front lines, however. So you need to use this thing like a front line, like I was saying, just a frontline bruiser. You sit on the front row, use your armor. Try to stay mostly hull down. I mean, your upper front plate's never going to get pinned ever, so you can safely expose that. But if you've got little ridges or little piles of rubble to hide your lower bits, like where the tracks are and stuff, I definitely hide those. You can pretty safely expose your turret. Your turret cheeks are weak with regards to really high penetration guns. Like if I'm shooting at another E4, I'll just shoot it in the cheeks because it's super easy. But people don't realize that. They always go for that machine gun port on the top. And I don't know, something happened when it went HD, and it just seems to be a lot more solid now. Maybe people just forget how to fight against it because it's not a very common tank. You don't see it around very much. Anyway, so like I was saying, frontline bruiser. You want to put that gun to work. Every 14 to 16 seconds, depending on your crew, you can fire that thing. It will go through pretty much anything you shoot at. It does a lot of damage, and it reloads fairly quickly. You do have a turret, even though it only covers the front half of your tank. You do have a turret, so you can use it to come around corners, take advantage, poke over piles of rubble, do that devastating damage, and pull back without taking any return damage. If you're pulling around a corner without rubble, though, if you're in a city, that is not where this machine belongs. If it's a clean corner, as I call it, they will blow your tracks off, they will do damage, and they will ammo rack you. That's just the way it's going to work. So try and stay away from the clean corners. Use corners with rubble, use ridge lines and hills, hide that lower half of your tank, and use that amazing gun just to put the fear, the fear of Serb into them. Yeah, so anyways, that's how I play the tank. Maybe you'll do it differently, maybe you disagree. But I'm a frontline fighter. I really like fighting on the front lines. I'm not really big into sniping. This tank does make a decent sniper. The gun's not that accurate, but it's accurate enough to do long-range shooting. And so you can use it like that, and a lot of players prefer to use it like that. But I've had a lot of success playing it like a heavy, but making sure I am surrounded by allies so a fast medium can't flank me. Because if you get flanked, you're dead. Because you can't turn your turret all the way around. So if they, once they get behind you, all they have to compete with is your traverse speed, which is pretty bad. So don't ever get yourself in a situation, unless you're the last one alive, of course, where a medium tank will be able to flank you. Always have someone on your team who can be there to scare them off. Anyway, so yeah. Yeah, guys, I love this tank. I've had a lot of fun in it. It's one of my new favorites. Hopefully, I'll see you out there. Maybe in your E4s, maybe not. But even in the near future, I'll probably be in mine, especially while I'm grinding out that T25 mission, E25 mission. Yeah, but maybe I'll see you out there, and good luck to you in your endeavors.